Welcome to the world of Hell's Paradise, where criminals and assassins are sent on an all-expenses-paid vacation to a mysterious island. And by vacation, I mean they're pretty much signed up for the world's worst death trap.
It's a trap!
Disguised as a tropical paradise. Picture this, you're a criminal sentenced to death. But wait, there's a catch! Instead of a quick beheading, you get to play Survivor, Murder Island Edition. And if you're lucky, you might even win the grand prize, immortality!
Immortality! Take it! It's yours!
Now if that doesn't scream fun, I don't know what does!
What could go wrong?
Anyway, sit tight because we're about to dive into the world where everyone's either trying to kill each other or avoid being eaten by mutant plants. Welcome to Hell's Paradise, where your biggest problem isn't that you've committed unspeakable crimes, but that you'll likely die in the dumbest way possible. Hell's Paradise kicks off with Gabimaru, a ninja who's been given the death penalty, but guess what? He's just too stubborn to die. Poison? Nope. Beheading? Not today. Honestly, the executioners are running out of ideas faster than Gabimaru dodges the Grim Reaper. He's so determined to live, but not because he's terrified of death or anything. Nah, it's just because he's got a wife. Yeah, that's right. Gabimaru, the deadly ninja, has a soft spot for wifey.
Oh, that's cute.
Let's ignore the fact that he's killed more people than the island's poisonous fauna combined. Of course, they can't kill Gabimaru, because where's the fun in that, right? So instead, he gets an exciting offer. Hey, want to find the elixir of life on a deadly island full of homicidal plants and monsters? Oh, and we'll probably kill you afterward anyway. Deal? And Gabimaru, showing the brilliant decision-making skills that got him into this mess, says, "Sure, why not?"
Yeah, okay.
Now, Gabimaru's not the only poor sap on this paradise vacation. There's a whole lineup of psychos, murderers, and assassins who are also too evil to die. Each of them has a handler, because nothing says trust like giving a bunch of bloodthirsty criminals a babysitter with a sword.
Babysitter?
Enter Sagiri, Gabimaru's handler, whose job it is to keep him in line. As if that's gonna happen, right? While not getting skewered in the process. Sagiri's got her own issues though, like trying to prove that she's just as tough as the boys in her family who, spoiler alert, aren't stuck with Gabimaru.
It's all yours.
Moment they land on the island, it becomes clear this is less paradise, more nature's way of saying no thanks.
No thanks, I choose life.
The place is crawling with killer plants and godlike beings that make you wish you were back at the executioner's block. And surprise, the monsters on the island aren't exactly keen on visitors. Gabimaru, being the sweetheart that he is, takes it all in stride, which is code for he starts murdering things like immediately. But Gabimaru's got competition because each criminal brought along has some weird over-the-top reason to want the elixir of life. Whether it's getting rich, gaining power, or just because they're bored, honestly, half of them seem like they're in it for the free trip, it's clear that nobody here has a healthy approach to problem solving. It's not if they'll die, but how spectacularly they'll meet their end. We've got all sorts in this murder fest, but let's highlight some standouts, because these guys deserve the spotlight for being, well, ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yuzuriha. Meet the femme fatale of the group. Except instead of being dangerous in the sleek, sophisticated way, she's dangerous in the I'll slap you for fun kind of way. She's got some mad skills, no doubt, but her entire vibe screams, I'm here for chaos. Honestly, her character would be a lot more impressive if she wasn't constantly using the I'm a helpless woman, please save me act right before murdering someone.
I didn't do it.
Chobe. The obligatory I'm crazy and love it character. Chobe's whole deal is that he just can't get enough of bloodshed, and the island seems like the perfect playground for him. He's got a big ego, which is fair considering how many people he's sliced through like butter, but let's be real, this guy has I'm gonna die spectacularly written all over him. Every time he flexes those insane survival instincts, it's like watching a disaster waiting to happen. Tenza. Good old Tenza. You'd think this guy would be all about keeping it professional, being a samurai and all, but no, he's too busy being an idealistic idiot. His biggest flaw? Trying to help others. I mean, yeah, because that's gonna end well in this crowd. Spoiler, it doesn't.
No, God!
Sagiri. Now, Sagiri, bless her heart, she's got big, I'm not like other girls energy, but really it's, I'm trying so hard not to die next to a homicidal maniac energy. As Gabimaru's handler, she's in charge of making sure he behaves, which is laughable because Gabimaru gives zero crap about her authority. Still, she's got the classic samurai honor code, and every time she spouts some righteous nonsense about justice and duty, you can almost hear the island's monsters rolling their eyes. Now, just when you think things couldn't get more insane, it turns out the island is home to these immortal beings called Tenzin. Because, of course it is.
Of course.
They're like some twisted mix of gods and monsters, but instead of just ruling over their little island, they get their kicks from experimenting on people. Charming, right? The Tenzin can regenerate and transform between male and female forms. Yeah, it's weird. And what's more disturbing is their obsession with using humans as fertilizer for their plants. Talk about an organic lifestyle, am I right? But here's the kicker. These Tenzin are just as batshit crazy as the criminals. They have this zen-like calm as they slice through people like it's just another day at the office. And the elixir of life? Yeah, it's not some magical drink. Turns out it's a substance produced by the island itself because apparently the ultimate secret to immortality is becoming one with the world's worst botanic garden. Now, let's talk about our boy Gabimaru. He's the classic, I don't care about anyone but my wife protagonist, which would be touching if he wasn't so good at murdering everything in his sight. Throughout the show, Gabimaru has these heartfelt moments where he remembers how much he loves his wife, and honestly, it's like watching a tiger suddenly remember it's a house cat. He's all, I'm doing this for her, but then 5 seconds later he's ripping someone's head off. Love truly knows no bounds with this guy, even when it's covered in blood. But hey, at least Gabimaru is consistent. Every time someone tries to take him down, he goes full murder ninja mode, and it's honestly impressive how much damage one man can do while being fueled by pure wife love. His internal conflict is supposed to be about how he wants to live peacefully, but the irony is, he's just too good at being a one-man slaughterhouse to ever get that peace. Let's talk about the island a bit though. If you thought the jungle in Jurassic Park was bad, welcome to Shinsenkyo. An island where nature doesn't just want you dead, it wants you dead in the most creative, gruesome way possible. I mean, let's break it down. You've got monsters, mutants, and plants that make poison ivy look like a houseplant. Seriously, Shinsenkyo is like the horror movie version of a tropical paradise, and instead of lounging in hammocks, sipping drinks, everyone's just trying to avoid becoming plant food. And by plant food, I mean literally getting digested by a vine with teeth. Who needs sunshine and beaches when you can have a giant human-eating flower, right?
No one.
Now, let's not forget the cherry on top. The island's bosses, the Tenzin, are practically gods in their own right. Immortal, sadistic beings that switch genders like they're changing outfits. It's like they couldn't decide if they wanted to rule over their deadly garden as men or women, so they decided, why not both? They don't just fight you, they experiment on you, probably because they've got bored with immortality and need a hobby. Imagine getting murdered, revived, then experimented on again for funsies. Shinsenkyo is the kind of place where, if you haven't been killed by a sentient flower or a mutant fish, you're probably doing better than most. And of course, while everyone else is busy losing their minds over the island's horrors, Gabimaru's just like, oh, another death trap? Cool.
Oh, okay.
He probably sees Shinsenkyo as nothing more than Tuesday. Let's be honest, half the budget for Hell's Paradise probably went into animating the insane fights though. Every time someone throws a punch or slices through a mutated monstrosity, you can almost hear the production team sweating. The battles here aren't just your typical sword fight to the death scenarios. Oh no. These fights are like someone cranked the insanity meter up to 11, then broke the knob off. We've got ninjas versus plant monsters, samurai versus immortal gods, and psychos versus their own sanity. Every clash feels like it's competing for the world's most over-the-top way to kill something award. And just when you think the battles can't get any more ridiculous, someone pulls out a new power or technique that makes you wonder how there's any budget left for the rest of the season. Take Gabimaru for instance. The guy's already a killing machine, but when he starts using his ninja skills to incinerate enemies with fire techniques, it's like the animators were just given a blank check for destruction. And the Tenzin, I mean, they regenerate faster than the animators can draw their limbs getting sliced off. So every fight with them feels like a budget-burning spectacle. It's not just about who's gonna win, it's about how many frames of animation it'll take to watch someone regenerate after being cut in half. But the real treat, Watching these characters pull off moves that defy every law of physics and common sense? I mean, who needs realism when you've got a ninja setting plants on fire while dodging poison clouds, right?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, and did I forget to mention Tao? Yeah, because apparently Hell's Paradise wasn't complicated enough with all the monsters, assassins, and gods running around. They decided to throw in a magical energy source that everyone suddenly needs to master. Tao is like the Force, but with even more vague explanations than spiritual mumbo-jumbo. It's the energy that flows through everything, plants, animals, people, the Tenzin, you name it, and naturally, it's the key to killing those immortal freaks, right? The catch? Understanding Tao is like trying to explain quantum physics to a toddler. Everyone's just winging it, trying to unlock their inner Tao powers, which apparently requires equal parts meditation and trial and error murder. Gabimaru, of course, being the genius murder machine he is, picks it up pretty quickly, but for everyone else, mastering Tao is basically get good at fighting or die trying. There's a lot of philosophical nonsense about balance and harmony, but let's be real, it's just an excuse to make the fights even flashier.
It's funny because it's true.
And what's better than watching a group of criminals try to figure out mystical energy while being hunted by literal gods? I mean, it's like watching a bunch of toddlers try to learn calculus while playing dodgeball with knives. If Game of Thrones taught us anything though, it's to never get attached to any character. Hell's Paradise? Yeah, same deal. If you have a favorite character, I've got some bad news. They're probably gonna die horribly.
Was the joke that bad?
The show is basically one giant roulette wheel of character deaths, and the house always wins. It's not about whether someone will die, but how gruesome their death will be. Will they be eaten by a giant flower, ripped apart by a Tenzin, crushed by their own stupidity? The possibilities are endless, and the show makes sure you see every horrifying detail. In fact, the only people you can safely root for are Gabimaru and Sagiri because of, plot armor, right? Everyone else, yeah, don't get too comfortable. They've got a one-way ticket to Pain Town, and their deaths will probably involve enough blood and guts to make Attack on Titan look like a kid's show. Hell's Paradise isn't here to give you warm fuzzies or deep philosophical reflections. Though it tries with all that Tao nonsense. It's here to throw you headfirst into the chaos of an island that laughs in the face of logic, where characters fight to survive in the most ridiculous ways possible. The plot? It's just an excuse to watch everyone get torn to shreds in gloriously animated battles, right?
Delightfully devilish, Seymour.
The characters? Walking death flags who are just one bad decision away from meeting a gruesome end. But that's what makes Hell's Paradise so much fun. It's insane, it's over the top, and it's not afraid to get really weird. So, if you're in the mood for a bloody, chaotic, and surprisingly entertaining journey into a nightmare island, this show has got you covered. Just remember, it's Hell's Paradise. There's no such thing as overkill. Catch you next time.